Dang it. Okay, you guys, I need some help. I'm talking to all you guitar players out there, especially the accomplished guitar players. You saw what just happened. I broke a string. Man, I've been breaking strings on guitars my whole life. I don't know what it is I'm doing wrong, but I keep breaking the guitar string. As soon as I start getting going good, kaboing! There goes the guitar string. Got my first guitar when I was like 8 years old. Christmas present, mail order, silver tone out of Sears. Okay, I'm playing. It lasted about 2 months. You know, I wasn't really dedicated to the premise at the time, and I was playing, and all of a sudden, you know, after it lasted about 2 months, and I broke a string. Okay, well, 8 years old, you don't have the dedication at 8 years old. Other people wanted me to do other things, and I just sort of put the thing under the bed and forgot about it for a little while. You know, okay. Now, I was about 16. I was about 16 years of age. This is the middle of the 60s, okay? And I was working part-time after school. I save up, and I get me a Tiesco Del Rey from Gibson's. Beautiful little guitar, you know? Amp to go with it. And, you know, I was playing, you know, it was one Sunday afternoon, and I was playing, and I was making a lot of loud, obnoxious noise, doing just what I was supposed to, driving the folks crazy, you know? And after about 2 weeks, I break a darn guitar string. Okay, well, you know, it's the 60s, and, you know, other people in my family play guitar. I wanted to play too, you know, and besides, I could see what was happening on stage, and I could see the guitar players of the time, you know, what they were accomplishing, you know, what it was all about. It sounded good, you know. It was a movement, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to play guitar, you know. Other people in my family played guitar. I wanted to play. Okay, but you know, 16 years of age, you know, I'm only working part-time. I couldn't go out and buy me another guitar. So, you know, I sort of put my career on hold for a little while, you know, get into the times, get into the love movement, and I'm like, you know, thinking, well, one of these days I'm gonna get back to guitar playing, but, you know, I had other things, and I was 16, by the way, you know, I was 16 years of age, you know, there was other things to do, you know, especially in the 60s. All right, so now later on, it's like I'm in the service. Now I didn't go to Nam. I was in Germany, and I buy me a Framus Les Paul. I said, I got a lot of time on my hands. I'm gonna learn how to play guitar, you know. So, you know, I'm playing. I was at the USO Club one Sunday afternoon because I didn't have an amplifier. I just had this Framus Les Paul, beautiful guitar. I mean, it weighed a ton, and it had a good sound. And I just loved it, you know. But I was playing one Sunday afternoon, banging away, and I'd be doggone if I didn't break darn guitar string again. Okay, well, you know, just my luck, you know. Didn't know what to do, you know. Threw the darn guitar away, and a couple months later, you know, I find myself out of service, you know. And then 25 years of age, I'm working, you know. I'm starting to make pretty good money. Still living with the folks, but I'm starting to make money. And I said, you know, that felt good. I was starting to progress. I was starting to develop, you know, some kind of style as a guitar player, you know. And I said, I'm gonna go out and buy me another guitar. Now this time, you know, I played it smart. I went to a pawn shop and I got some no-name brand, you know, but it stayed in tune, and you know, it sounded good. So I'm playing along, and be doggone if in about 2 days I break the darn guitar string. Like I said, I was making pretty good money, you know, so I save up a couple paychecks, go buy me another guitar, and, you know, this one, I believe this next one was like a Strat, okay? Now, I was sitting there one afternoon, the timing was coming, I was starting to pick up on reels, logical progressions, you know, it was feeling good to me. My fingers working up and down the fretboard, you know, getting them strings a little hot, you know, it was starting to feel good to me. And you know what happens when you get strings hot? They'll break on you if you don't know what you're doing, especially when you bang it, you know. So there you go. You know, every time I get going good, every time it starts feeling right, you know, I break a darn guitar string. Gotta go buy another guitar. This went on, you know, from the mid-70s up into the mid-80s, right? Okay, you know, one time I must have had a dozen darn guitars laying around my apartment, every one of them with 5 darn strings on it. I was just really, I was dedicated. I felt good. I wanted to play guitar, but I can't get past this one thing. I can't get past why in the world you can't make a darn guitar with nice, strong strings on it. So, I kept playing, and, finally I got disheartened. It's just, how do you do it? This is an expensive doggone habit, okay? I can see it if you're one of the accomplished guitarists of our time. George Thorogood, or Slash, Mark Farner, some of those guys, when they're making, big bucks, $150, $250 a night, some of them. And they can afford to have standby guitars. You tell your roadie during the day, I broke a guitar string last night and I had to throw that sucker away. Now go out and buy me a couple more guitars. That night, you break another guitar string, you point to your roadie and say, hey, give me a replacement. Bring me one of my standbys, And if you're making that paycheck, if you're making, good money as an accomplished guitar player, and you're getting some real rock and roll work done, and you're in a band, you can afford to have standby guitars. But from a working man's point of view, you do it. This is an expensive doggone habit. Now, I need some help. I'm missing something. There's a secret. Somebody's going to have to tell me what it is I got to do, okay? How do you get a guitar to keep its strings? I don't know. Hopefully one of you guys can help me. Right now, bros, I'm 55 years of age. I'm not making great money, but I have a couple 3,000 saved up to the bank. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out. I've seen another Strat. I've been looking at a Strat down at the music store down the road now for the last couple months. I'm going to go and get it, and I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? Sorry, bros. Looks like I'm going to have to put my guitar career on hold for a little while. When I got downstairs, I saw something that's going to take up my paychecks for the next 6 months or more. I looked down on the ground and I got a flat tire. I'm going to have to go out and buy me a new car.